All right, let's try this again. This is like number 8. I just keep messing up, but here we go. Welcome to What Kind of Player Are You? This is all about disc golf personalities, and today we're going to talk about some of the funny and not so funny personalities that you're going to meet on the course. But don't worry, I brought some visual aids to make it a little more fun, so I hope you'll join me right after the intro. So I started thinking about this video several months ago, and the problem is it just kept growing, the ideas and the characters, and I just finally had to cut it off and think about maybe doing something, maybe creating a card game or something in the future. But today I'm going to talk about some of the classic folks that you may run into out on the course. Now I will warn you, if you don't see yourself in this group, that probably means you're in denial. And I will be more than happy to do a personality assessment for 3 easy payments of only $19.95, along with a free set of wind chimes and a Ginsu knife. Okay, that's enough random 80s culture references. Let's jump in. We're going to start off with the bragger. And this guy has a big bag. He loves to name drop, tell you all his great scores that he's sponsored, and then he has excuses for everything. And the biggest thing is he never asks anybody else about themselves. It's all about him. Then we have the excuser. I don't have my favorite disc. Oh, I'm hungry. I hate trees. I hate wind. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's too quiet. It's too noisy. Oh, that was a chain out, a rollaway. There's always an excuse for why he's not playing well. Then we have Mr. Uptight. Don't even think about talking to me, especially while I'm putting. And then he walks away to think about planning his sponsorship and everything he's going to do, even his van design. All the while he's 18 over par after 4 holes. Then we've got the coach. He doesn't even ask, he just starts telling you what you need to do. If you fix X, Y, and Z, you're going to be perfect. And it's too bad you're using the wrong discs. The problem is, usually he shoots worse than you do, but you know how it goes. Okay, then you have the Zen Master. You know, this guy shows up with 1 disc and flip-flops, and you got to watch out for those sneaky old guys. But then sometimes they're just sneaky old guys that really don't give a crap. But you always got to check them out. Then we have the statistician. He knows his ratings and every rating of every player out on the course. And he can tell you how the weather conditions are going to affect the rating of this flex start this Saturday. And he'll even bow out of certain events because they can't help him break 800. Everything that he does is focused on his or her ratings. Then we have the 6-pack. He's got more beers than discs, and he'll reload after hole 9. He can be a lot of fun, but he also tends to leave a trail of discards along the way and can turn kind of sloppy and angry or maudlin as time goes by. Kind of similar is the High Life, but he prefers organic infusion. And to be honest, some guys actually play better, a little more mellow. But it can kind of be a distraction if you have to do a mandatory pit stop every time on hole 13. Yeah, I put that in there for you, and you guys know who I'm talking about. Okay, then we have the quitter. Oftentimes, this is the alternate personality of the braggart. When things don't line up the way their talk says, they get angrier and angrier until they just give up and walk off the course. Life is unfair, and this round should not count against them. And they sure won't be posting anything about these scores on Facebook. If they didn't finish it, it didn't happen. Then we have rethrow, not to be confused with rerun from, never mind. Every hole they do at least 3 extra putts and usually the same number of extra drives. The phrase, just one more, is heard over and over again. You've made a total of about 60 throws throughout the round, and your card mate is blowing well past 100, like they're running through the front door of Best Buy on Black Friday. You get to watch them turn your quick lunch round into a 2-hour practice session. Then we've got the gear guru. Gear guru, tough to say. They believe that this is all about the gear, from the disc to the cart. Good gear has to equal good golf. So of course, all the conversation throughout the entire round is, hey, what disc did you throw? How do you like that cart? Why do you like that brand? Have you tried? It's all about gear. Then we have the jokester. This person can't be serious anytime during the round. It's all about movement and humor, and that's their defense against making bad shots. They think, If I'm not serious, then it means I'm not really trying, and that means I surely can do better if I cared more, so they can't judge me if I don't play well. Kind of similar a little bit is the fisher. And this guy carries a cloak of false humility so that you'll be sure to tell them how good they are when they say how bad they are. They go overboard to run their game down so that there's never any pressure for them to need to perform. Then we've got Mr. McShady. He tends to forget strokes on a semi-regular basis. He has some of the best rounds of his life when he's playing solo rounds. And he will also use obscure pre-PDGA rules to convince the group why that stroke, foot fault, or missed putt really shouldn't count for them. Then you've got the hothead. Bags, water bottles, and towels are thrown almost as much as his discs. He has lost so much time searching for that extra disc that he threw in anger when he missed that basket. It went 2 holes away. And he's one bad tree kick away from going nuclear. What's crazy though is all the time you'll hear him say, "Oh, I love this game." And then finally there's the fanatic. This guy almost vibrates as he talks about disc golf. There's a glassy stare as he talks about flight numbers, chain configurations, and the latest Jomez production, all in one breath. There's nothing worth talking about except for if it's connected to disc golf. He loves the game a little bit too much. And now here's the deal. If we're being honest, we really can see ourselves a little bit or a lot in almost each one of these stereotypes. Heck, I know I can display 2 or 3 of these in one round. I try to start off as a Zen master, just chilled out. But then I hit a few trees and I become the excuse that, "Oh, I'm not playing well." And then I lose my favorite disc. Gear guru goes crazy and I decide this round must be cursed, so it's better if I just check out early and become the quitter. You know, we've all done it at some stage, some way. So why is this both true, funny, and sad? And why do we do it? I really believe it comes down to 2 things, acceptance and value. We want to be seen as worthy of acceptance and that we have value because we excel at something these other folks around us care about. You see, the world says to you, do this well and people will like and adore you. So we strive and will posture and fight to make sure that we're doing well enough to be accepted. Or we have ready-made excuses for why we didn't do it so that we get a pass and can avoid rejection. We are trying to use our scorecard to tell us and others our worth. And I hate to say it, that scorecard is a liar and a cheat. You are never going to get a winning score from a rigged system. What do I mean? Well, let's say today you get the course record. Congratulations. Then what? Well, you're going to need to do it again to prove it wasn't a fluke. And then you're going to need to do it again on another course because you're just a homebody that's only playing one course and that doesn't really count. And then you dare not have a bad league night or a bad season. You see, you must always be getting better, faster, stronger. And who cares if you're getting older, you have other life obligations, and you really weren't that gifted to begin with. You need to strive, fight and claw, and see every single person on course and online as competition that you must measure yourself against. That will be the only way to truly know where you stand in this world. And so when we say, disc golf is life, hey, what are we really saying? We're saying, I'm trying to draw life out of disc golf instead of enjoying life while playing disc golf. Now, I hope if you've just found my channel or been around a little bit, you will hear me say this. Disc golf is one of the best sports in the world, but it is a terrible god. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you see, anything that we put in our primary position in our lives and rely on it to give us value and meaning is in essence a god. We must worship it and sacrifice to it in order to have it bless us. So if I am looking to disc golf to make me feel whole and worthy about being around others, then I may be leaning into the realm of making disc golf a god. Now, I'm not saying that competition and scorekeeping are bad and playing disc golf well is bad. As a matter of fact, the challenges of these things can actually push us and expose us to our messed up thinking that we have in our heads about how much disc golf is worthy in our lives. But if we're needing to do well, and I mean needing to do well and needing to have our lives validated by this game, then we might need to readjust our priorities. Often we will find a sport, hobby, or other addiction to cover up or distract from what is really going on internally and relationally. I know I have used disc golf as a big idol in my life for too many years. I let it define me so that I wouldn't have to be defined by other parts of my life that weren't going as well. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen is that you actually become successful in the pursuit that you're using as a crutch in your life. Here's the big question. What would you give up before you would give up disc golf? That might be a very good litmus test to see how much disc golf has become wrapped up in your self-worth. If you find yourself making too much of your disc golf game, it's too important, well then welcome to the club. We've all done it to some extent. And the good news is that it's never too late to work on refocusing on the more important stuff. And hopefully, as we go on this journey together, we can remind each other to have fun and enjoy the game, but don't make it bigger than it needs to be. You see, I want you to become better disc golfers, but more importantly, I want you to become better people. So hear me. Remember to love people more than disc golf, and use disc golf to get to know and love more people who happen to love what you love. You see, we're all in this together. This should not be an individual sport. So with that in mind, get out there, go have some fun, and I hope to see you out on the course.